Hello, Year 8. Hope you're well. Right, this is a task that I set for you for one of Mr. Khan's science lessons this week. A couple of you got in touch and you didn't quite understand what the questions were asking you to do. So I'm going to go through this worksheet now to give you a little bit of a helpful hand. And basically, I'm going to show you how I would approach this worksheet and then give you some ideas of how to approach it yourself. So let's have a little look at this. It's all about distance time graphs. Now, it's all about telling a story because any graph in science always tells a story. And distance time graphs tell a story about a journey. That's what they do. Now, the journey, this is the task, you are to pick one of these journeys: the journey of a migrating bird, a cyclist in the Tour de France, or a dog sled race. All right. Now, the journey, I'm going to pick this one, the migrating bird. Okay. So the journey it covers a total of 3,000 kilometers in 15 days. Now, here's some extra detail. Okay. But our journey has to cover a total of 3,000 K in 15 days. Now, the bird has to stop and rest for 12 hours, and then it has to fly at a constant speed for 12 hours, because that's what migrating birds do. They're just fly non-stop for 12 hours, then rest for 12 hours. A little bit extra here, it actually covers more ground at the start of its migration, at the start of its 3,000 kilometer journey, because that's when it's less tired. Okay, but we'll come back to this one. But anyway, this bird is covering 3,000 kilometers in 15 days. Now, this is what I would do next. That's not a lot to start with, okay, but we need to add to this story. That's what this task is all about. It's a little bit of a creative task as well. Now, what I would do is work out how many kilometers is this bird going to cover every day. Okay, so my first thing would be would say, okay, the total of 3,000 kilometers, 15 days, that comes out as an average of 200 kilometers every day. All right, now that would be quite a useful thing to know to start with. During that day, though, during each day, he's going to be it's going to be at rest, so he's going to cover no distance for 12 hours, and then for the other 12 hours, he's going to motor through that 200 kilometers. Okay, and we need to reflect that in the distance time graph that we're going to put together. Right, there's just this extra bit. This is a little bit of a complication here, isn't it? It needs to cover a bigger distance at the start. Now, how about this? I had a little think about this, and I thought, well, what if the bird covered 250 kilometers in the first 5 days, and then did 200 in the next 5, and then did 150 in the last 5? I think that might work out. So let's see. So the first 5 days, I reckon if he did 250 each day, and then the next 5 days, he did just 200. And then the last 5 days, if he did 150 kilometers per day. Now, in each of those days, again, he's got to be resting for 12 hours, so the graph has to be horizontal. And then for the other 12 hours, it has to be covering that distance. Okay, so I think if we plotted those things, those facts, we'd get a nice distance time graph. So just one last thing, it has to be, each day has to be 12 hours or half a day flying, and the other half of the day sleeping. Okay, so as long as we get this information and this information on our graph, I think we're onto a winner here. Okay, so that's what we need to do. The next task is describing right? Describing what they're doing each day. So complete the table to show the distance travelled each day through the journey. Okay, so we've got a big table there. How many days have we got? We've got 1, 2, 3. Well, we've got 15 days in total. The first 5 we're doing 250. The next 5 we're doing 200. The next 5 we're doing 150. And we need to include this this is where we break down this journey into what's happening day by day. Okay, distance from the start. Okay, so we need to add the total distance each time, don't we? And the time taken for each day. Make sense? Now, finally, this is the tricky bit. Now, how to plot this? As long as you've written out the detail here, okay. This is the total distance from the start. So we're going to be, for the first 5 days, we're going to be adding 250k each time, aren't we? And we'll need the total time taken. So 1 day, 2 day, 3 day, 4 day, 5 days. And then plotting it. Now, if you've got graph paper at home, that will be ideal. However, if you've not got graph paper, you can go online. I did a little Google search, graph paper PDF, because if you want to annotate this in Kami, it'd be really good to have a PDF, and you can download any of these. You can download any of these graph papers, and as a PDF, and I reckon you can open those in Kami pretty easily, and then you can put your graph together, can't you? Okay, so your graph is going to look something like this, isn't it? So don't forget, distance time graph. Time always goes on the x-axis. Now our time is going to be in days, and then we've got the total distance travelled like this, haven't we? So the distance in kilometres. Now what do we go up to in days? It's 15, isn't it? So maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and so on. 10. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So they're the days. And then up here, we're going to go up to 3000k. Okay, that could be 1000k. That could be 2000k. And then finally, as long as we go on graph paper, all we need to do is to be careful, don't we? So first day, what's he going to do? What did I say? Day 1, 250k. Okay, so after day one, we've got to be at 250. Well, that's 500. So we need to be there, don't we? Now he's going to fly for half of it, remember? And then he's going to rest. And then he's going to fly for half of the next day, and he's going to rest. Then he's going to fly for half the next one, and then he's going to rest. So you're breaking down the journey into day by day. How does that sound? Right, that's how I would have approached it. There's quite a lot of detail there, obviously. Now I'll give you a couple of lessons to do this, because admittedly this is a slightly bigger task than maybe I realised at first. But let me know how you get on. Okay, thank you very much, Year 8. I'll see you soon. Bye.